I am the famous American. Let's talk about the phenomenon, undeniable phenomenon happening in the United States right now. We're seeing people in mass exodus leaving California. Where are they going? Well, plenty of them are just going to neighboring states or nearby states that have similar values. Colorado, Oregon, Washington State, Nevada. I'm from the South. We say Nevada out here. So that's happening. But I think what's getting more attention are the people who are coming to where I am in the South, Tennessee, and of course our cousin, Texas. It's basically our first cousin culturally. So Texas and Tennessee specifically are where people are coming from California. But I was talking to a friend this weekend who moved to Tennessee a couple years ago from California, though he was originally from Minnesota. And what he told me, he said, Nick, the people who are coming to the South, specifically Tennessee and Texas, from California, they already have the values collectively that Tennessee and Texas and the South have, more so than the more liberal states, including Colorado, as you say it, Nevada, as you say it. Man, I would just want to say Nevada and Colorado. I should make a video about that, shouldn't I? But the point is, it's not that the fact that they're from California coming to Tennessee, it's not all people. Certain people from California will never move to Tennessee. They're going to know that we are more of a conservative state, and we are. We're very much focused on inviting businesses to make it attractive to businesses to come here, to set up shop here, because we have basically tax breaks and lower cost of living here. So it makes more sense that you'd want to set up shop here. But for people who are not focused on that, and they're naturally going to go to places where the cost of living is not that much better, but at least it's better where they're at. And they don't want to move across country to come out here. So, for example, there are conservative people all across the United States, even if the state itself is liberal. For the most part, when we think of California, we're going to definitely think of a conservative state. But it's a big state, and there's a lot of rural territory in California. My wife is from one of those parts in California, for example. So when I think of her family, I think of a large family that pretty much all is conservative for the most part. So it's interesting, because if you're going to be leaving California, which side are you going to go to? Are you going to go to continue that more liberal side of things, the more democratic side of things, go to a closer by state, or are you going to just go ahead and just reinvent yourself and adopt the southern state concept that here we have a lower cost of living, we invite businesses to come here through our tax rate. We don't make it harder for, we all know, even on Netflix, so many shows and now movies are filmed in Atlanta. Why instead of Hollywood? Because it makes more common financial sense. So yeah, Stranger Things filmed outside of Atlanta. Same thing with Walking Dead, right? If I'm not mistaken. We know how to attract people who are smart enough with their money to come out here, because yeah, it's a lot better out here. Granted, it's not liberal out here. You'll find people like that, but typically, still fundamentally, people identify as conservative or liberal so much that they're basing that on how they leave California. Because, and granted, I will say, I don't know any people who moved out here from California and said, oh, I hate it out here, I hate the South. I've not met anybody like that. All they say is, I love it out here. People are great. I like the Four Seasons concept. It's a lower cost of living. The schools are better. Yeah, it's great. But again, those are probably the people who are already more in tune with a conservative mindset and really focusing on finances more so than the people who went to a nearby state. That's the theory. That's the concept. And if not, then why am I not finding any people coming out here from California thinking and hearing them say they hate it? They all say they love it. But I'm not interacting with the people who chose a different state and stayed out west. I think this is interesting. Let's talk more about it. The comment section is right here. Your move.